a Christian and as a medical doctor, how do you see the Christian worldview kind of affecting you as a physician?
That's a very good question, because a lot of times when you go into the sciences, you begin to see the world in terms of mechanisms, in terms of the physical processes that you're looking at. Especially as you move on into medical school, you need to understand that there are reasons for something happening in the body, and those reasons are why you're there to diagnose and manage illness. And so you sometimes lose sight of the fact you're dealing with human beings. But I realize that in my Christian worldview, we are made in the image of God. And this has implications like for the sanctity of life, for instance, and for the value of human being. And these values inform your workday all the time. You have to remind yourself of this. And then you also begin to understand that the relationship that you have with another human being is modeled by how Christ related to other people. So these, as well as the idea that humans have eternal souls, that we're dealing with something here that just doesn't die and that's the end of it, that has a lot of implications as well. Plus, we come from a tradition, a historic tradition of healthcare being started by the early church. If you go back to the early centuries, even the earliest Christians going around collecting babies that were thrown off, and then later on developing hospice. I know the monks did that. So the tradition of healthcare really is a Christian tradition, which you don't have to be a Christian to partake in it, but I believe that God has honored us in that regard in being able to take care of people in that way.
That's such a great perspective, because I like to always think about science as being a noble profession, but being in the medical field is also a very noble profession for Christians to engage in, to explore the creation and the wonders of God.